Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's a beautiful Thursday morning here in Lusaka, Zambia, and I would like to welcome you to Prosperity for Your Soul with Dr. Nellie Kangwa. This is a session that comes every Thursday at 8 o'clock Central African time. So, with your host today for this week's edition, my name is Dr. Joyce, and I will be sharing a few thoughts and nuggets this morning that will just help us wind up this month, that will help us wind up this week. So, just to get started, I just want to have a sense of where everybody is joining us from. Either you're joining from LinkedIn, you're joining from YouTube or Facebook. Please, can I just see where you are joining from and how are you doing this Thursday morning? Today is the 24th of April, 2025, and it's so amazing to see how time has flown from when we started this year, and we are almost winding up the first month in the second quarter of this year. So, welcome once again, and we will get started in a moment. I just want to share a few thoughts that have been really bubbling around my life in the last couple of weeks, and I hope that you will also have a moment to reflect on those things. So if I can be seeing some comments from where everybody is joining from. I saw Sylvia. Good morning to you and good morning to everybody. All right, so let's just quickly dive in today. Today, I just want to share a few moments. I want to share a few thoughts on a moment. Hilda, good morning. Thank you so much for joining Prosperity for Your Soul this morning. So today, on this edition, I want to share a few thoughts of what I call behind the moment, right? Behind the moment. I know a few, like maybe 10 days or 9 days ago, we did wind up with a wonderful conference called the Real Woman Summit that is hosted by the host of this program, which is Prosperity of the Soul, which is Dr. Nellie. And I know after she posted, there's a certain post she made last week that people came asking, Dr. Joyce, how did you pull through the Real Woman Summit? What goes on in the background? How do we ensure that events are successful and coming into a moment? So today, I just want to share a few thoughts that have really helped me, as I have had different moments in my life that has really helped shape who I am from a career perspective, from a personal growth perspective, and other things that I like to venture in. So if you are ready for us to just dig in into the session today, please can I see some yeses and some comments in the chat box. All right. So today, like I've mentioned, I am sharing a few thoughts on what I have titled Behind the Moment. I want you to know that every person has a set moment in life. If you didn't know that, I want you to know that there's a set moment in your life, a moment that defines you, a moment that takes you to the next level of your growth, to the next level of your life. There is what we call a divine appointment. So every person has that particular moment. So now what happens is that when that moment comes in, all what people see is the camera, all what people see is the congratulations, all what people see is the stage and the applause that they give you. What they do not realize is that there is the behind the moment that has built that moment that you are being celebrated in. It could be an elevation in your career. It could be being given a platform in a speaking conference. It could be a next level into your business growth. There are certain diversifications that you're doing. That is your moment. And I want to know that everybody under the sun has a moment like that that defines them. But what determines how you maintain momentum into that particular moment that you clock in is the behind the moment. There are certain things that you really need to do in life behind the moment that prepares for the moment, right? So the moment, the behind the moment is where your greatness lies, not the fame and the stage and the applause that people get to see. in the frontage of your moment. What is your moment? What have you been aspiring to achieve and get into your next level this year? As we are speaking about 2025, we have entered into the second quarter, and the first month of the second quarter is winding up. How have you been preparing for that moment? And it is those things that you have been doing in the back end that helps you to get through to where you need to go and sustain the moment. So this morning, I will just share a few nuggets that have helped me, practical things that have helped me to sustain different moments that have happened in my space. And you have to be a steward of your behind moments because they determine the sustainability, they determine the level of grace, the level of ability that will make that moment last. If you have seen, there are certain people that have entered into certain moments, but because they did not manage how to build their behind moment, they did not have sustainability to keep the moment running. I also want you to know that a moment can appear in your life, but if you do not have capacity, if you do not have growth and stamina and stability that has been built in your behind the moment, you will not sustain the moment. This is where you see when people get to a certain level of breakthrough, they are unable to sustain it. It begins to crumble down in their face. Not because the moment hasn't been given or the moment has not been graceful to them, but because they were not able to build capacity, to build certain things in the behind the moment that are key for sustainability. All right, so I will start now digging into the different nuggets that have helped out that can help you shape your moment in this year 2025. The first nugget I want to share is define your vision early. What are you preparing for this year? And talking of this year, preparation comes with you planning. What are you planning? What have you prepared in order for you to have a moment, either in your career, either in your business, either in your other ventures that you get to do in your education, and so forth. Clarity gives direction to your discipline. Most of us are not disciplined to set any cascaded goals in any way at a personal level or even if you run a business. As in the book, in the wonderful book, it is written, write the vision down, make it plain. Have you written a vision of what you want to achieve? Most of us are always excited to want to be in a moment that is of elevation, a moment of breakthrough, a moment of elevation and promotion and getting to the next level. But the question comes in, have you written down how you want to achieve this? Have you written down the vision that you can read it plainly and run with it? Most of us have not even prepared for this year 2025. We're just going through 2025 with the motions. Something that has really worked for me, and I always mention, is at every beginning of the year, I sit down. What is my vision for 2025? So that when a moment comes in, I do not just say it just came by like, but I had prepared for it, I had planned for it. Define your vision early. And it's never too late. This is April. You can go back to the drawing board and define your vision early. Number 2, be faithful in the quiet place. As I mentioned, greatness lies in the behind the moment and not what people see as an afterthought. Today, students are graduating from Unilas. Most of us are just seeing the glamour of the gowns, seeing the glamour of whatever it is that they will be doing in celebration. But those students were faithful in their quiet moments. And I want to say the quiet moments is where they were studying around 01, doing their assignments, being consistent to work so that they can have a graduation that they are having today. So you're behind the moment. You being faithful in that quiet moment entails that there will be no applause that happens, that people will give you an applause. It is a place where there is no spotlight. No one is spotlighting to see. It is just you working the work that is required for you to have a wonderful moment. Being faithful in your quiet place entails you are consistent in the secret place. Even the Bible says that God rewards those that do things in the secret place. What are you doing in your quiet moment, in your back moment? Are you being faithful if you're an employee? Are you being faithful when your boss is not watching? Are you doing what you're supposed to do when nobody else is watching? I have seen, because I'm in the corporate, and I have seen that there's so many times that employees only show in the moment when they want somebody to see them. If a boss has come from the regional office, that's when they want to run around and show the boss that they're able to work in that moment. But when there was no one watching, what is it that you do? What is it that you are doing in the backside of your life to ensure that when the moment comes, preparation will meet your greatness at that point? Some of us are not faithful in our quiet place, in our secret place, in our behind place, even in our businesses. And that is why you are shortchanging your customers. You do not do the correct things with your products, and you are stealing from customers. That's why sometimes the moments when they show up, they do not last. Be faithful in the quiet place. Work the work in the quiet place where nobody is seeing you, where nobody knows what's going on in the back end, the work and the labor that you're putting in. And definitely when the moment shows up, right, your consistency in the secret place would definitely echo in the public space when the moment comes in. Number 3, quickly, develop a discipline of preparation. Most of us are quick to run into a moment, quick to run to be wanting to be promoted, quick to run to wanting to hold money, quick to run to wanting to run businesses and expand your businesses. But how well prepared are you? How have you prepared yourself? I want you to know that greatness doesn't come by luck. Any successful person will tell you that they put their hands dirty. They put their hands to the plow and worked in the back end of the moment. So, how are you disciplining yourself in the area of preparation? I hear a lot of employees will complain, I have not been promoted. I have not, no one gives me an opportunity for leadership. But how prepared are you? The discipline of preparation is important because that's where consistency lies. Practice, practice, practice as though it's the real thing. Learn to have preparation. Have you gone back to school? Most people, and I speak this from a career space, there is a system on how people get promoted. Experience does the trick, yes. Qualifications also have to be part of them. Have you been procrastinating to go back to school? It could be that secret ingredient of preparation that you require for that moment of promotion to come in, for that level of expansion in your business to come in, or that level of growth at the personal level that you would like to see. Develop a discipline of preparation, because when you are prepared, when the moment comes, you have the capacity to maintain the moment. The moment comes in with a lot of pressure. The moment comes in with a lot of scrutiny. How did this person get to this where they are? How has this business expanded? But if you do not have the stamina, you do not have the capacity that you have built in behind the moment, people begin to poke holes into your success. People begin to poke holes and question your credibility in what you do. I think the fourth one, which is very key for me, that I've always told people: build character. Behind the moment is a place of building character. I always tell people that talent will get you the microphone, and I'm using that figuratively. Talent will give you the microphone to be on a platform to speak, to get promoted, to have an expansion of your business. But character is what will keep you holding on to that microphone. How is it? How is your character in the behind moment? I want you to know that behind the scenes is where humility, behind the scenes is where you grow patience, behind the scene is where strength is born. Most of us are pushing and are charging to get into that moment, that defining moment of our lives, but we have not built character. That's why you see when certain people, I don't know if you have observed, when certain people get into leadership roles, you see how they mess up teams and how they mess up businesses and companies and even nations of leaders, because they did not build a proper character where they sustained humility, where they sustained discipline, and where they sustained patience and strength. So if you're going to get into a moment and sustain it, I want to encourage you, begin to build character. I've seen managers that have gotten into certain roles of leadership, but they do not have not even an ounce of a spine to lead people. They just throw authority and power all over the place. It's because they have not built character. Character is when you know that you have power and you decide not to use the power. But people get to use power because that is the only leverage they have, that people can work with them. I hope you're getting something from this session this morning. And if you are, please, can I just see some reactions and comments and just see that we are getting some value for this moment. All right, Shubert, that's awesome, 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 awesome. I can see those comments coming in. All right, I think I have 3 more nuggets and we can call it a morning and everybody can just get to do their day. Some of us, our day started 5 hours ago. I'm an early riser, so my day started that early. So number 5, God's timing. Trust God's timing. Some of us are too quick. Some of us are too quick to get into fame. Some of us are too quick to get into a promotion. Some of us are too quick to get into business that we are not ready for. But I want you to know that do not rush the process. I'll give you an example, a quick example. When a woman has conceived, when she conceived, automatically a baby just doesn't appear in that process. It takes a full 9 months for us to be able to come and see a full grown child that will be born, right? So trust God's timing. There is a process and a timeline for everything. But also, you can choose to either stay long in the back end if you do not follow things that are supposed to be done. There are principles that are laid. Some of us are in a hurry to be 6 months pregnant when we're just 2 weeks pregnant. You want the baby to be kicking. You want the baby to have turned at 2 weeks. How? Right? How do you want a baby to turn and be kicking at 2 weeks? That's not possible. So let's be realistic. Let's trust God's timing and season in the moment of your preparation. God's timing is preparation in disguise. Some of us, we think, no, why is my promotion taking too long? Why is my business not expanding? I've tried to get into the government for contracts. Why is it not happening? My question to you is that in the process of your birthing into that moment, in the process of your birthing into that moment, which part of your behind the moment are you in? Are you in the 2 weeks or in the first trimester? Let's use the scenario of pregnancy since I've started with that. Are you in the first trimester of your pregnancy, of your moment? First trimester comes with all the madness that comes. You can't hold anything. You can't keep up with the changes that are happening in your space. Some of us are in that trimester and we want to see a baby. How can that happen? Some of us are in the second trimester where we are having to now have stability and see structure coming in limb to limb, face to eye of your moment that is being cooked and birthed in that moment. You can't expect a child. The liquid is still too much in the system at that time. You can't have a child at 6 months. That's why you find that when you have a child at 6 months, if boys usually don't survive, but girls do, they have to put the child into an incubator. There's a reason for that, because the child has come earlier than they're supposed to, meaning that there's a certain level of growth that they have not attained. Their lungs are not able to breathe on their own. They are not able to see clearly. They're not able to do certain things on their own. And that is why they go on an incubator. That's why most of us, we end up being, our moments are premature. Our moments get to be premature because we came out at 6 months when we're supposed to come out at 9 months, because we are in a hurry for the moment. So my encouragement this morning, as we talk about the behind the moment, is that wait and trust God's timing. Wait and trust your 9 months process. Go through the first trimester of your behind the moment. Go through your second trimester. The second trimester ensures that every little part of your moment, of your baby moment, is being structured. The ears, the functionalities of everything that will be required on that moment, you have everything intact to be sustained on your own, and you will not require an incubator. Most of us, when we get into those moments, when we come out prematurely than we needed to come out, we get to be put in an incubator. And who wants to be in a moment where you cannot breathe on your own? Who wants to be in a moment of fame that you cannot be sustained? Because everybody is worried, will this survive? Will this happen? But preparation and trusting God's timing is the best. Is the best. I want you to take that in, so that when your 9 months come in, your EDD, every person has that EDD. So when your EDD comes, you are ready to push through life. You're ready to push through to your next level into that moment. I don't know what moment you have been pushing through for this year, but I hope that you have followed through your 9 months process using the pregnancy analogy, that you have run through the 9 months process and going through stage by stage. Those are principles that happen. And that's why your behind the moment is very important, because it defines the level of greatness. It defines the level of sustainability that you have when you get into that moment. Number 6, as I will be concluding in a few minutes, surround yourself with the right voices. Most of us, why our moments have not been the way they were supposed to be when we had a moment, why some of us, our greatness was short-lived, is because you surrounded yourself with the wrong voices that spoke into your space. And coming into an example of marriage, there's certain people that have seen marriages have crumble, not because they didn't do anything wrong, but because of the people that were speaking into their voices. Your circle shapes you in a way that you will never imagine. Do you have a mentor that speaks into your ears, in your behind moment? Is there anybody that is helping you and anchoring you in your behind moment? Choose people that will sharpen you. Have you people that you can run to in your behind moments and tell them, it's so hard to be here, but help me. How can I get to the next level? I don't understand my first trimester of my behind the moments. It's crazy. I can't hold on to anything. I'm just messing everything up. I'm throwing up. I keep making mistakes. How the right voices in your life that speak into your behind the scene moments, because those people are speaking sense to you. Those people are speaking the right things. And that is why when you see a pregnant woman, she always goes for antenatal, right? She always goes for antenatal. She doesn't do antenatal in the house. She goes to an expert in pregnancy, an expert and they go to check, or the echo is well, or the heartbeat of the child is good, or the formation of the child is good, or you're going to have twins, meaning that you're carrying double of what you're doing. Which midwife are you speaking to in your behind moments? Which midwife are you speaking to? It is very, very important. Find your midwife in your behind the moments. Find the right voice that shall encourage you what needs to be done. And they will tell you what you need to do. Can you be exercising? Can you drop on certain types of food? Can you start taking supplements? What are you doing in order to build capacity for your moment? Lastly, but not the least, as I conclude, is that sacrifice is the currency. Some of us are not ready to sacrifice for the moment. We just want it to come on a silver platter. But I want to assure you that any greatness that has ever shown up and has been sustained has had time of sacrifice. Comfort will steal from your greatness. Some of us sleep too long, 8 hours. I know what the nutritionists say, that sleep 8 hours, 7 hours. But if you have a moment that you need to plan for, you need to ensure that you're sacrificing something. Some of you, it's time that you need to sacrifice. Some of you, it's money that you need to sacrifice. Some of you, you need to sacrifice sleep in order for you to come and sustain the moment that you're looking out for. Sacrifice is proof you are serious about the greatness that you want to achieve. Some of us want to be promoted at the office, but we are too lazy to even complete a KPI, but you want to be promoted. How? The price of the moment is often paid in secret or behind the scene. This morning, as I will be winding up, I want to leave you with a question, something to reflect on. What are you doing in the behind moment season of your life right now? Are you preparing or are you procrastinating? That is a question I'm leaving you with. Based on the few nuggets I've shared, I want you to just go and reflect. Are you procrastinating? Are you preparing? Which one of these nuggets that I've shared are you even practicing for your greatness? Practicing for that moment where people will come and clap for you. Congratulations, Dr. Joyce. Congratulations for your next level. Congratulations on your promotion. Congratulations on your business breakthrough. What have we done in the backside of our lives that will come and give us momentum and stamina when we get into that moment? I want to leave you with a call to action. I want you to work your secret place. Begin to work it. There are principles, just like I've indicated. A pregnancy has a 9-month span. So I don't know what you're chasing and what span it requires in the back end, but begin to work your behind the moment so that you can have a sustained moment when it comes. Embrace the discipline. Behind the moment comes with discipline. And I'm hoping that you give yourself credit. You give yourself to get out of the comfort zone and create that moment. I love this quote and I make it. Don't be afraid for being hidden. Some of us are quick to want to come to the limelight, but I want to say, don't be afraid to being hidden. That is where God hide his best work. Don't be afraid to be hidden. As we start this Thursday, don't be afraid to be hidden. There are times that people will carry you glory for the things that you have done, but don't be afraid to be hidden, because in that being hidden, in that place of the behind moment, is where God hides his best work. I close this with you. Your moment is coming and you need to be ready for it. So, from Prosperity of Your Soul this week with Dr. Nellie Kangwa, it has been me, your host, Dr. Joyce, and I'm just wishing you an amazing, amazing Thursday. And I'm hoping that you will work your behind the moment so that we can celebrate the moment that is yet to appear. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much. And see you tomorrow for another session that happens on Friday. Bye for now.